In a town made of colorful clay, every day began with a bright smile. Little Jonathan was the heart and soul of the local elementary school. He walked the halls with a charm that made everyone feel like a star. The annual fair was a plasticine paradise of games and sweet treats. With a giant puff of sugar in hand, life seemed absolutely perfect. But a shadow loomed over the joy in the form of a bitter caretaker. He looked down at the boy with a heart full of cold, molded spite. A few cruel words were all it took to break the afternoon silence. Deep within the young boy, an ancient and eerie power began to stir. The air shimmered with a heat that didn't come from the bright sun. When the sugar hit the dirt, the world knew something had changed. The sky bruised into a deep purple as the boy raised his small hands. Beneath the playground, the very foundation of the earth shuddered. A tiny gray hand broke through the sand, seeking a way to the light. From the chalk-lined courts, more fingers clawed at the clay soil. A massive army of gray-skinned children rose to answer the call. They stood in perfect, terrifying formation, with glowing white eyes. With a single quiet command, the boy directed his new companions. 200 pairs of feet began a heavy, rhythmic march into town. The man, he locked every latch, but the sound of the march grew ever louder. A wave of gray clay rounded the corner, filling the suburban street. The wooden fence stood no chance against the weight of the crowd. They climbed the walls and peered through every crack in the wood. Inside the kitchen, the terrified man realized there was no escape. They didn't want him. They wanted to dismantle his entire world. A favorite armchair was torn apart as the chaos reached its peak. Neighborhood cars were flipped over, like toys in a messy playroom. High above, the news cameras captured the unfolding clay nightmare. A jagged grin met the lens, proving these were no ordinary kids. The anchor struggled to find words for the breaking global crisis. A warning flashed across every screen, telling families to stay inside. Practical advice was given to those hiding behind their locked doors. Wide eyes watched from behind the blinds as the town transformed. Back at the school, the young leader surveyed his kingdom of clay. He held a heavy, ancient book that contained the secrets of old. His voice echoed through the streets, carrying a strange new law. The words spoke of sweetness and the butter of the humble nut. He demanded an offering to satisfy the hunger of his gray army. Panicked neighbors rushed to their kitchens to find what was needed. Jars of peanut butter and chocolate bars were left on the doorsteps. The horde paused their destruction as a delicious scent filled the air. They swarmed the porches, gathering every jar and bar they could find. The glowing eyes softened as the ritual of the feast began in earnest. With the hunger sated, it was finally time for the kids to rest. A swirling light of blue plasticine opened up in the parking lot. One by one, the gray children waved goodbye and stepped into the void. The portal vanished, leaving behind a neighborhood covered in goo. The humbled man looked out at the remains of his once quiet life. A simple wink and a walk away reminded everyone to stay kind.